people's perception of wealth, many might naturally assume that the United States, as the world's largest economy, would be at the top, but the result is surprising. The United States ranks only 9th in per capita wealth. Meanwhile, some small countries, with land areas not even as large as a medium-sized city and populations under 1 million, have consistently remained at the top of global wealth due to advantages in finance, energy, or policy. The first place has a per capita GDP of $143,740. Converted to Chinese yuan, it exceeds 1,030,000 yuan, which is 1.74 times that of the 10th place. More interestingly, 8 out of the top 10 countries or regions have populations of less than 10 million, highlighting the advantage of being small and wealthy once again. Next, we will start from the 10th place in reverse order to uncover the wealth secrets of these countries and regions. This data is based on industry research reports and is for discussion only. The 10th place is the Nordic Energy Kingdom of Norway, with a land area of 385,000 square kilometers and a population of about 5.5 million, with approximately 1/3 of its territory located within the Arctic Circle. Norway's economic structure is highly dependent on oil and natural gas, its North Sea. Since the oil fields began production in the 1970s, they have become the country's most important source of wealth. In 2024, Norway's per capita GDP reached $82,830. What is more noteworthy is that Norway, through the world's largest sovereign wealth fund, manages an oil fund with a scale exceeding $1.4 trillion, converting energy income into long-term assets. 3% of the annual returns are used for pensions, education, and public services. This model not only avoids the resource curse, but also achieves intergenerational equity. Citizens enjoy almost free basic medical services, tuition-free education from kindergarten to doctoral level, along with benefits such as living subsidies and free lunches. Norway's industries are also gradually diversifying. It is the world's largest salmon exporter, has the 4th largest merchant fleet globally, and invests 3% of its GDP in clean energy research, all of which enhance its future sustainability. The reason for being on the list is due to the continuous large fiscal surplus brought by energy exports, coupled with high welfare and high education investment, ensuring that the wealth is shared by all. The 9th place is the United States. With a land area of 9,370,000 square kilometers and a population exceeding 100 million, it is a typical large economy. In the year 2024, the total GDP of the United States reached $29.18 trillion, accounting for nearly 1/4 of the global total, firmly ranking first in the world. However, due to its large population, the per capita GDP is $85,370, ranking only 9th. The United States does not have a unified universal free healthcare system, and the vast majority of medical expenses must be covered through insurance or personal payment. In terms of education, from elementary to high school, public education is free, but at the university level, the fees are high. Including living expenses, the total cost for 4 years usually exceeds $10,000. The sources of wealth in the United States are extremely diverse, with technological innovation in Silicon Valley, financial capital on Wall Street, energy resources in Texas and Alaska, and agricultural output in the Midwest, collectively forming the economic landscape of a superpower. Silicon Valley tech companies like Nvidia and Apple, along with Wall Street's financial industry, contribute 25% of the United States GDP. Among the top 10 global companies by market value, the United States holds 7 spots. The problem in the United States is the severe wealth gap, with a high concentration of wealth, where the top 1% of the wealthy control over 34% of the nation's wealth. Although the country is overall wealthy, the living standards of ordinary families are quite different compared to residents of top-ranked small countries. The reason the United States can maintain high per capita wealth is due to its continuous innovation capability and global dollar dominance. The dollar still accounts for 58% of global foreign exchange reserves, but at the same time, the large population base limits its position on the list. Relative position. However, it is also important to note that the United States debt has exceeded $36 trillion, with a fiscal deficit rate as high as 6.1%. The 8th place is San Marino, a very unique microstate located on the Italian peninsula, with a land area of only 61 square kilometers and a population of about 35,000. Yet in 2024, its per capita GDP reached $86,990. San Marino is the oldest republic in Europe, with a founding history that can be traced back to the year AD. Its economic structure is centered around tourism and banking, with tourism accounting for about 30% of the GDP. With its ancient castles and medieval districts, it attracts an annual average of hundreds of thousands of tourists, approximately 85 times its population. The banking industry and parts of manufacturing provide additional support to the economy, with ceramics, electronic components, and precision instruments accounting for 40% of exports. Astonishingly, San Marino has almost no national debt, and its financial situation is stable. The entire